What is inflation? What is deflation? I'm not going to drop down into all the philosophical what is money. We're just going to accept what we have is money. Let's just accept that for the sake of argument. Okay. And this is why they complicate things. If we make things simple, as we are later on in this series, this is not going to work. Okay. Inflation is simply an increase in the supply of money. Deflation is a decrease in the supply of money. It is very simple. The Consumer Price Index is merely an indication of what the inflation might be. It measures how much of price has risen or fallen. Let's go back to another story which might illustrate this better. How do they figure the unemployment figures? I'm sitting watching the nightly news 10, 15 years ago, and they do a report how they figure it. Now, before I tell you how they figure it, how should they figure it? The federal government receives reports from every employer of how many workers they have, who they are, and how much money has been withheld for federal income tax, Social Security tax, or contribution as it's called, and Medicare tax. Okay? So, at any given moment, they should be able to tell you we have exactly so many people employed. Simple. Unemployment, how would you figure that? This would be a little more complicated. You ask all 50 states and the District of Columbia, each has an unemployment office, how many people are currently on your rolls seeking employment and collecting unemployment. You add that to the employed workforce. Let's say there are 100 million people employed, 10 million seeking employment. So workforce 110 million. 10 divided by 110, 10 million seeking, 110 million in the workforce would give you like 9% employment. You can do the math. You got a calculator on that computer in front of you. Simple. We should have an accurate figure. No. They go out. Hello, Joe. Are you employed? Yes. Employed. Hello, Jane. Are you employed? No. Are you seeking employment? Yes. Oh, unemployed. They do a survey. They go to Sam and Susie and stuff. Now, let's say Sam says, I'm not employed. I'm not looking for a job. They don't put him in the survey. He's not part of the workforce. They use my simple calculation, only they do a survey to come up with their number. When they have access to better figures, what are we to think of this stuff? Let's get back to inflation. The Federal Reserve creates money and lends it into existence. Okay? When they were set up in 1913, the Treasury could report to them what the money supply was on that day. There are, let's say, $100 million in existence. I don't know what the figure is. I haven't looked it up. You can look it up. Okay. The Federal Reserve, they loan another 10 million in existence. They know it goes from 100 million to 110 million. Simple. They could report to us at any given moment the exact amount of money that's in existence by the amount of money that was in existence before, what has been added or subtracted from that amount. They could say there is $10 trillion in existence today. Simple. If they said a year from now there's 11 trillion in existence, we would know 11 trillion divided by 10 trillion is 10% annual inflation over that time. We know the exact inflation rate. Then we could look at the CPI, Consumer Price Index. Have prices risen 10%? Logically, they should. And if we had that accurate a figure, if they hadn't risen 10% and the report comes out, prices have gone up 10% in the last year, and I'm selling cars, I was selling them for $10,000, and I'm only selling them for $10,500 now, boom, it's going to $11,000. I want that 10% in my pocket. No, what we do is we get second-hand, third-hand information that is removed. It gives some idea what's going on over here, but it doesn't tell us the exact situation. So we're trying to figure out what's going on from second-hand information, and then we're trying to make a good decision based upon shaky evidence. Now, true, we don't have access to the good evidence. There are some things that some reports that are better than others. What is interesting, way back someone did what they called the misery index. They took the CPI, only they had changed their basket. The CPI is a basket of goods. They changed their basket. They started figuring it. It started looking bad. It disappeared. More recently, a lot of people looked at the M3 money supply figure put out by the Federal Reserve as the best indicator of the actual supply of money, inflation or deflation. It disappeared a couple years ago. I don't know whether they were right in their assessment. They thought they were. I'll leave that to their judgment. All I'm trying to do is give you simple explanation of what things mean. Then we can apply these to what is actually going on in the world. I hope this series is helpful, because I'm going to start reaching some conclusions before this is finished. And my conclusions are based upon understanding what is a stock, what is a future, what is a derivative, what is inflation. And then maybe, just maybe, the picture will become clear. Benedicta potentis, Patris et Filii, Spiritus Sancti, Sen Superbos et Semper. Amen.